The budgeted unit sales for the Weller Company for the upcoming fiscal year are provided below. The company's variable selling administrative expense per unit is $2.50. Fixed selling administrative expenses include advertising expenses of $8,000 per quarter, executive salaries of $35,000 per quarter, and depreciation of $20,000 per quarter. In addition, the company will make insurance payments of $5,000 in the first and $5,000 in the third quarter. Finally, property taxes of $8,000 will be paid in the second quarter. Prepare the company's selling and administrative expense budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Let's begin by calculating our variable selling expenses for the first quarter. They will be $37,500. That's our 15,000 units in budgeted sales times $2.50 per unit. Our total selling and admin expenses then will be $105,500. That's our variable expense of $37,500 plus our fixed expenses of $8,000, $35,000, $20,000, and $5,000. For the second quarter, our variable selling administrative expense will be $40,000. That's the 16,000 units times $2.50 per unit. Our total selling and admin expenses will be $111,000. That's the variable selling expenses plus our fixed selling and administrative expenses. For the third quarter, our variable selling expenses will be $35,000. That's the 14,000 budgeted units times $2.50 per unit. Our total selling and admin expenses will be $103,000. For the fourth quarter, our variable selling expenses will be $32,500, which again is our budgeted sales of 13,000 units times $2.50 per unit. When we add to that our fixed expenses, we get total selling and admin expenses of $95,500. To calculate the cash paid for selling and admin expenses, we need to subtract our non-cash disbursements, which we were told was our depreciation expense of $20,000 per quarter. Thus, the cash paid for selling and admin expenses during the first quarter will be $85,500. That's our $105,500 total minus the $20,000 depreciation expense. For the second quarter, our total cash paid for selling and admin expenses will be $91,000. For the third quarter, our total cash paid for selling and admin expenses will be $83,000, and for the fourth quarter, it will be $75,500. For the year, our total variable selling expenses will be $145,000. We can add these across or multiply the budgeted sales in units for the year of 58,000 times $2.58 per unit. We can total our advertising expense for the year, our executive salaries for the year, total our depreciation expense for the year, our insurance, and our property taxes in order to calculate our total selling and admin expenses for the year, which totals $415,000. Once we subtract our non-cash disbursements, which were $80,000 for depreciation expense, we're left with our cash disbursements or cash paid for selling and admin expenses of $335,000.